I want to know first for the people with tickets to go to Northwest Stadium over the final two games of the season. Will you be going to the games? Yes or no? 800-636-1067. So I'll answer this for myself.
Mm-hmm.
They've got two homies left. The first is Saturday night against the Eagles, and I'm going to go to that game. I would love to sit at home and get ready for the great night game in the NFC North, and also JMU's in a college football playoff game. My wife's an alum. We're excited about that. We want to watch that game. I'm going to get home late and probably miss a couple quarters or close to the first half of that game, but it's part of it, right? So I'm going to be at the game on Saturday. I'm not going to go on Christmas. I've made that decision. Plan all along was to go. Got 4 kids at home, was going to leave them, go cover football. If it was a big, important, vital game, maybe it'd be a necessity to be out there. I don't necessarily have to be out there as it's currently constructed, so I'm not going to go. So I'm going to bet 500 on these final 2 games, and this will be non-illness or something like that. One of the few games over 20-plus years that I've missed at home. It's just part of the routine. It's what I like to do is to go cover those games. But that's my answer in terms of going. Now, in terms of watching the final 3, I'm a crazy person. I'll watch 100% of the snaps. I don't miss a snap, never have, and ideally won't at any point. So if I've got a one TV situation, everything else has to wait. Fantasy championship, ramifications for who's in and who's out. I'll catch the highlights after. I'm going to lock in. But that's the other question for people is if you're at home and the Commanders are playing with other games on, do you have that wandering eye? Are we at a point where you go, I'll check the score and flip over every now and then for some drives? But especially with Jaden Daniels out, these 3 games have lost some intrigue.
100%. So I'll put my fandom hat on for a second. It's a requirement for us. I mean, I'm watching. I'd watch it anyway, but it's why we get into this thing is we love this team and we love the sports and we care about these things. We're passionate about it. If you can't fake that for, a couple of decades, if it's just not, it's too hard to do, I think, in my view. But anyway, so yeah, I'm watching it as part of my job. But putting my fan hat on, I would be more concerned this weekend with fantasy championships, DFS, the occasional bet, whatever, than I would be Hawkeye watching Washington play football. Because you already said it. The intrigue would be how Jaden Daniels plays. Whether I want him to or not is relevant. If he's in there, that's what I care about. I don't care about Billy the backup. I don't care about Mariota. I kind of know what I got there. There's not much intrigue. There's not much left on the line for me going to a last couple of games this year. I'm far more concerned about maybe winning some money with my fantasy championships or whatever. So I'd be watching, but not with the same passion, fervor when something's on the line. But, of course, trying to separate that from our work obligations, which includes watching the hell out of it.
But we only get 17. We only get 17 of these things. And you're going to be army crawling through the parking lot over glass to get into that restaurant for some food in a couple of months.
We'll be Andy Dufresne in it, dude.
You will be desperate to watch Commanders football by the middle of February. You get 17. You got 3 more. You might as well soak them up, smoke them while you got them. Let's go to John in Fairfax on G&D. What is going to be your level of engagement here down the stretch?
Hey, you guys. So first of all, I just want to say I listen to you all the time. You guys are fantastic.
Appreciate you, brother.
Your perspective on everything is just great. So here's the deal. I am a diehard Redskin fan, have been since the 70s. Every game, just like you said, Grant, I arrange everything around the food I'm going to have, how I set everything up in front of the TV. I'm that kind of a guy. Now, I have a band. This puts it in perspective. Last year, when we found out the Detroit game was on a Saturday night, I was losing my mind all week because my band's playing, and I'm obviously not going to be able to see the game. Thank God we get there, and they said, hey, don't worry about it. Everybody's going to watch the game. You guys only have to play hour tonight. We'll pay you in full. We were happy campers. This Saturday, we obviously have this game, and we have a show coming up. I'm not that upset about it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, the difference between a playoff game in Detroit to get to the NFC Championship game and whatever this is this weekend is a steak and filet, filet mignon and hamburger helper, right? It's night and day. I totally get that. Let's go to Usman in New York on Grant and Danny. What's up?
Hey, dude.
Hey guys, so I'm 30 years old, diehard Skins fan. I think I can count on like one hand the number of plays I've missed my entire life. I had tickets to the game this past weekend. We completely punted them and ate the money. It was freezing cold, and given the starting lineup, I just figured forget it. We do have only 18 NFL weeks, and there's some crazy matchups going on, and so the Commanders game will be relegated to the laptop or the smaller TV.
Oh, look at you!
And I will not. Yep. So I'm not going to be going to any games for the rest of the season. I will say though, I went to law school in Boston, and so I had the opportunity to go to a few Patriots games during like the Mac Jones era, and some of those games were duds, but the fans tended to come out there in droves, and I think it had a lot to do with the fact that the stadium was just in such a better environment. There's a lot to do around Foxborough.
Although, I will say, and thanks for the
Appreciate
call,
you.
that is a pain in the tuchus stadium to get into. You are opting into all of the traffic in and all of the traffic out. That is not a fun place to go by any means. I think all the Super Bowl championships that engendered a lot of passion and goodwill
Makes it a little more worthwhile.
probably a factor as well. It's also a good stadium. It's also a fun experience. I mean, you're going to this stadium, and they've done a lot of hard work. They've tried their best. They're doing everything they can to push a boulder up a hill and put lipstick on this pig. But it isn't a good stadium, and it isn't a great atmosphere. It's gotten a ton better. I think the atmosphere is certainly in a solid place in terms of the controllables now. But it's going to be freezing cold. It's a team that's favored to lose handily, and that isn't very good without the starting quarterback and the superstar player playing. So it's just going to be a bad situation. I do wonder what it's going to look like, though, Danny. Because even if they're good over the years at that stadium, Eagles game,
Yep.
Giants game,
There's always
Cowboys game, we know what it is. End of year when you're bad, it's terrible. This is that on another level, though. Eagles with a chance to basically clinch the division. Washington going into a holiday weekend on a Saturday night.
without Daniels, without any intrigue.
They're eliminated, and they as of this week, publicly punted on the remainder of the season. I'm not knocking them for that. It's just what happened.
No, yeah, it's reality.
That's a tough sell now.
Yeah.
Hey, come on out. Buy your tickets now. By the way, Marcus Mariota's playing, but here's your tickets. They're $177 for the lower bowl. Who wants to come? That's tough.
Yeah, that's tickets going up in the Game Time app, and trying to unload them. And I understand that, by
And
the
it'll
way.
be 26 degrees, and you're going to be surrounded by Eagles fans. But I promise you'll have fun. I promise. And, oh, by the way, the team might lose 27-10. But I'm telling you, you're going to have a good time.
Come on out, right?
Let's go to Daniel, who's in Virginia on G&D. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, thanks for taking my call,
Hey, buddy.
guys. So here's my perspective. I'm coming from Warrenton. It's a long drive, and it's really an all-day affair to go to the games, which I'm more than willing to do when there's something on the line and willing to pay a premium. But when the games become preseason games, which essentially these have become, and the logistics of going to the game really bleed into the day before when you start prepping for tailgates and that sort of thing, I'm not willing to do that. I mean, it's like I said, it's a huge concession, and when there is something on the line, more than willing to do it. But in this situation, no way. And not because I'm a fair weather fan. Some people would call me that for that reason, but there's more to it than just being there when it's important. It's making the sacrifices, and when you have kids and grandchildren, that's what you're doing when you're going to those games, and you're giving up a day and a half to do so. So I'm more than willing to do it when there's something on the line, but there's absolutely nothing on the line here. It doesn't even seem like we're evaluating for next year when Ben Sinnott's getting targeted one time in the game, and we're still playing Von Miller and Bobby Wagner almost every snap on defense. So I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of the game is. I don't know if it's a preseason game, but I can't do it.
It's basically a super cold preseason game, but you're playing starters that really need to win. Come on out.
Come on.
Enjoy
Come see the home team.
Explore the space. I understand.
Yeah, but his point about it's so expensive. And it's not like those concessions are getting cheaper.
No.
It's among the more expensive in the game.
Now, you've already paid. You could possibly make some of your nut back, I guess, if you put these online and some Eagles or Cowboys fan buys them or whatever. And more power to you. You should absolutely try to do that if that's what you need to do.
Right.
But you've paid for the tickets. You paid for the parking. It's not like you're paying again. But to his point, You're not going out there and sitting in the parking lot and not eating. Tailgate costs a little money to set up. It's also freezing cold.
Yeah.
Now, this is one of those things. I think it's correct, but every time I say it, I get crap for this, and
Sure.
that's fine. When they're indoors in the future, a justification of going to a game like this gets a little bit easier, I think, for a dad to take his kid, for the family. Like, I haven't looked at the weather, right? Clary, what are we looking at on Saturday evening, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.? It's going to be damn cold. I know that.
Freezing.
much.
Yeah, I mean, doing it in Minnesota, like if you couldn't do that skywalk indoor thing,
man.
you imagine being taking your 5-year-old and having
No.
to walk like 10 city blocks in that whipping cold.
But
Like,
here's
no
the
way.
difference. I'm not even exaggerating. My kid is starting to get all in on sports and football and going to games with dad, and he loves it, right? He sets up the little helmets in front of the TV, and he's running around. Now, he can't lock in for 3 hours, but he'll watch a series and then go play with his trains and come back. If he wanted, I could take him to this game if it's indoors. I'm not taking him outside to sit in the lower bowl or upper bowl at 27 degrees for 3.5 hours bundled up.
Bunch of Eagles fans starting stuff. Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
fun.
by the way, yeah, I'm getting punched in the back of the head by some goofball up 95 who eats cheesesteaks every Thursday night at a bar. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, we're looking at 43 degrees around 5 p.m. this Saturday.
That's actually a
Oh, it's not
lot
as
better
terrible.
than I thought.
It's not bad, but it will get a little chillier as the day goes on or as the night goes on.
So we're upper 30s basically during the game.
Yeah, second half upper 30s.
That's cold, but that is. I was thinking it'd be mid 20s. Like that's actually. I take back everything I said. Let's pack the joint. Let's go out there and be warm together. 40s. That's comfortable. Who needs an indoor stadium?
Yeah, seriously, let's go.
800-636-1067. Spoken like a couple of guys that were in Minneapolis in -4 wind chill.
I was going to say, I just did it, man. I walked 2 city blocks in sub-zero temperatures.
If you have tickets, are you going to the game? If you don't, will you watch all 3 of these games every play? What kind of prioritization will you be doing? I think that caller said it right. Does this game go to the second screen for you as a football fan, or does it still get the primary screen viewing, and the laptop is how you're monitoring everything else? The phone is how you're actually checking in on the bets and the fantasy stuff.